Hello. We're starting into the free practice session on Nürburgring. My name is Julian. And we're driving the Jag today. The Jaguar. Jaguar G3. A GT3 car that has been used 2013 at least by Emil Frey Racing for SRO, for the SRO, what was it, Blancpain GT World Challenge back in the day. Nowadays known as the Fanatec GT World Challenge, powered by AWS. Now, in the free practice session, and we're on patch 1.8.2. The problem, of course, being that there's a known bug with multiplayer. And this means that sometimes servers crash. Sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight. Spoiler alert, it doesn't happen during the race. Also not during qualifying. But 1.5 times during the free practice session. So, still in free practice session, we already had one server crash, but after that it was just simple rejoin of the server. And here we have a pretty slow Bentley. Well, it's still a free practice session, so there's no need to get upset over this. Just go past. And a few laps later, still in the free practice session, there's just a crash. Well, anyways, that was just that. We finished practice in P4, and now we're in qualifying. Qualifying is split into 2 groups. Well, generally there's the white badges and the red badges. The red badge drivers had the first 15 minutes of qualifying, and they are basically the rookie drivers. And then there's the white badges, which I also belong to, which are the so-called silver ranked drivers in this league at ACCSS. Anyway, start into the qualifying session with 23 liters of fuel. Just had to adjust it a bit. And the name of the game here is getting space, because I'm starting at something that I usually try to avoid, which is the middle of the pack. But everyone in here knows how to give each other space, so we're gonna use the second half of the lap here. You can already see on the minimap everyone is giving each other space. The only one not doing that right now is me, but I'm doing that now. Now I know that I have some pretty good pace from the free practice session. Starting in, you know, finishing in P4, the free practice. So what can I do in qualifying? Well, let's see. Start off to finish the lap. No. Start off to start the lap on the start finish straight, braking at about 100 meters into turn 1. Well, pretty much exactly 100 meters. But you need to turn in exactly right for the Jag to work. In second gear through this corner, it's the acceleration after the second gear corner is quite tricky. You need to be very careful on the accelerator. And here out of the Mercedes-Benz arena, I do that in second right now, but later in the race I learned that in first gear it's better for the Jag. So, third gear for this, second gear for this right-hander. Just try to take the inside line as fast as possible. As fast? Yeah. Generally try to take everything as fast as possible. That is a good tip if you want to race. Had a bit of a lag, the guy in front, or me. Anyways, the connection between us was a bit clouded. More cloudy than it is around here right now. The Schumacher S is something that I really like in the Jag. It's very simple to drive, even in this latest patch that changed quite a bit about the physics. That's basically the main reason why I chose the Jag and not the Bentley, which I usually drive in GT3. Because of this patch, I just felt more connected to the Jag, even though I know it is quite a bit slower than I technically could do in perhaps more reasonable cars. But never the matter. Finishing 58.6, that is, yeah, it's an okay banker, but nothing more. Starting the next lap, let's see where we can improve on our time. Into T1 maybe, braking it shortly before 100 meters, but hitting the apex pretty perfectly and already saving 4 tenths. Wow, up to 4 tenths to be saved in T1. That is pretty good, pretty much. Now, getting a bit wide there, a bit late of an apex, but still getting the acceleration out of the corner. So, saved another tenth there, lovely. And the rest of the lap is, well, is pretty much saving a bit of time in each corner, pretty much. Exactly that. And now we come to the chicane where I can brake very late. For whatever reason. The Jag just being very maneuverable at high speeds, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, saving about 1.1 seconds over the last lap. In a 57.5 now. That's a better lap. That's about the kind of lap that I did in the 2 hours of practice sessions I had before this race. But still, I'm able to save like 3 tenths in the Mercedes-Benz arena again. But I just run a bit wide here and invalidate my lap. Unfortunate. Well, a lap later. We're now a lap later. And it's, well, the third to last shots I have, if everything goes well. So, we do the same, pretty much. Saving a bit of time in the Mercedes-Benz arena, about 3 tenths at the exit. This time not invalidate here. Lovely. Well done. Nice going, Genghis. Someone lets me past. Tom Tweedy, currently qualified in first. Spoiler alert, he will qualify in first. Anyways, braking a bit late and turning in even later. Hurting the lap quite much, and at this point I cannot even start another lap. So we're starting in 15th place. That is P14 for my class, which would be 2 points, which is nice. Top 15 get points. And I just want to have fun. I don't want to really fight. So my tool tells me 100 liters. I go for 110, which is pretty good. Yeah. Spoiler alert, I finished the race with about 8 liters left. So it's good I didn't trust my tool. But the big thing about this is the tire pressures. And crew chief is trying to, well, my crew chief is trying to stress me out, but I don't let myself be stressed. 10 seconds, I let myself be stressed now. Press drive, one person got a 10-second penalty up in front, lovely. And he likes penalties, lovely. And the Ferrari in front didn't like to press drive, apparently. Well, okay. The end of the formation lap, there were pretty much no shenanigans up until this point. We keep right to get into double file. Be a bit late as the person behind us and the person behind them. So, try to get in our position in the green field, at the front of the green field if possible. But there's some confusions still going on. A Beamer out of place. New BMW M4, of course, being the Beamer in question. There were quite some people choosing the M4 for this race. Or for the rest of the championship, at that matter. Now, up to 70 kilometers, and I'm pretty much well hitting it. And I get a good start. 2 people get a drive-through. That's unfortunate for them. And the people in front of me don't get such good of a run. Everyone is very cautious. And we're breaking down very cautiously into T1.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Almost touching the BMW in front, but not quite. And there's the first yellow flag. Lovely. Even though I didn't get a yellow flag, only a green flag. Touching a bit with the person on the inside. And because of this problem here, this Beamer problem, I do not get a run. For whatever reason, Daly does not want to go. So I lose quite a few positions thanks to that. And he still doesn't want to go, for whatever reason. I don't know what he's doing at this point, but my former teammate, Jose Martinez, is now right behind me. So, I've got to care to defend from the back, to not lose any more positions, and attack to the front at the same time, because Daly's too slow for me right now. What will I do? Well, the solution is simple. Just screw up the Schumacher's. And Jose Martinez right on my back. And his brakes are a bit better than the Jags, so he can dive to the inside. But I will have the inside now for this corner. It's over, Jose. I have the inside now. Pretty much that going on. There's a bit of shenanigans going on in front, some fake dives into this fast chicane, and there's something just flying there. Okay. Well, move on. Still behind Daly, still in front of Martinez. This is the end of the first lap. It was a very cautious lap. Very cautious. Braking into T1 at the normal brake points. And hitting the apex almost. I'm getting quite irritated because the light reflections are very visible in the virtual rear mirror, which is quite annoying at sometimes. Also from some cars in front, but not as heavily as from the virtual mirror. Now I fake an overtake into this left-hander. Of course, Daly now has found his pace, so he doesn't really fall for that. Of course. It's just a ruse. A simple ruse. But we get into a part now where we know that Jose Martinez right behind us is strong. Well, he's not bad. And I managed to do the Schumacher's okay, but not very well. And these two corners, well, I managed to get through them. Not the most perfect of lines, but we'll take it. We'll take it quite simply.
Yellow flag accepted.
There's no stress going on, it's a 1 hour race. and there's a train in front. A train of cars that I would really love to overtake. But first, I need to get to Dali. But someone else takes a fall and allows me to get one position. Bruce Eus, or however you pronounce it. I think it's Belgian. Anyways, I move to the inside. Daly brakes very early, lets me and Jose Martinez have the position into T1. Thank you, Daly. Thank you for making it ever so easy to overtake you. At this moment I just think he let us have it because he thinks, or he at least let me have it because he thinks that I'm quicker than him, which, well, it's true, I could be quicker than him because I qualified higher, and I could have qualified even higher than I did qualify, but I failed the qualification. So, we're now behind Milstead. Milstead? That's a name I don't recognize. Well, hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. But it's another blue car, and I get this run slightly wrong in the Schumacher S. Jose Martinez being on point with the braking there, and managing to get past me. Unfortunate. And I managed to screw up the exit onto the most important straight. Too bad. Well, Dali tries to move to the outside, but I can brake very late, and I do that. Number 69 getting a 5-second penalty there. Not so nice. But we're in P18 now. There is at least one rookie in front, so there might still be points in it. But I do not plan on ending in this position. I plan on getting a bit in front, because I know I can be quicker than Jose Martinez at least. Why do I know that? Because I qualified in front of him. And I know that he is not the biggest fan of the Nürburgring. Get a good exit there, a bit over the track limits, the track limits being very strict in this part of the track. Because the line I took there is a conservative line in real racing around the Nürburgring, from what I've seen. Anyways, a lap later, nothing really happened, we're still in the same position, and I get a bit of a bad run in this corner, and now I'm getting a bit stressed because Dali was right on my back for a second there. One lap later, I managed to get ahead of Dali quite some bit, managed to keep on the back of Martinez, braking into T1, very lovely, very well done. And there's a bit of dirt being pushed up. I know the guys in front of me are making mistakes. Nürburgring is always more of a race of attrition than it is a race of overtaking and actual racing. It's more the case of pressuring your person in front into mistakes than actually going for any overtakes. Jose Martinez trying exactly that, pressuring Kilford right in front of him, who is a rookie driver, so they technically wouldn't need to fight, because they're not fighting for a position. They're just fighting for overall track position, which is, well, not so well. And there goes Milstead. Goodbye, Milstead. Thank you for being in the show. So, thanks to this confusion, we managed to catch up a bit to Martinez. I like saying that name, haven't said that before. Jose Martinez. It's a beautiful name. I like pronouncing Spanish names, even though I sometimes pronounce them wrongly. We get a good run out of the chicane, not good enough to make any move, but we're on the back of Jose Martinez.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
There's a yellow flag in sector 1. Can we get a position out of that?
Well done, mate.
Get the personal fastest lap, and spoiler alert, that is the best lap I will do all race. Also, Martinez going a bit for the middle of the roads, and could I get a cutback? No, because the Jag kind of bogs down in first gear through on the acceleration out of the first corner here. Now get this corner a bit wrong again, you like to hug the inside. And this is the first time I'm trying first gear on the exit here, and it's lovely. It's so lovely compared to second gear. It's a bit more dangerous, but well, it's a learning process, and now I know. Now I know better. But I lose quite a bit onto the back of the pack of these 5 cars here. And behind is still Daly, who I know is quick. And I know he can catch up. And there's a bit of an error here by Martinez, who doesn't manage to get a move done on Kilford before the Schumacher is. So I managed to catch up a bit more to him. And he makes a mistake here again, so I try to go for a move, but he blocks it.
Clear on the left.
Well done defending there, Jose. And there's a back marker. And for whatever reason,
Car on the right. Clear on the
I
right.
need to lift. Probably because of shifting and something like that. But all of the confusion led to Daly coming closer, edging ever closer, and me almost running into the back of Jose Martinez.
Losing to the car ahead of sector 1.
Losing in sector 1, yes, I wonder why. Because I don't like the Mercedes-Benz arena. Anyways. Braking perfectly into T1. Just beautiful. Mwah. Second gear through this left-hander. Always watching whether it's green or red on the top left. And it's very green right now. And I like it being very green. I really do. P17 right now. So we managed to get one position, I believe, which was Milstead crashing out. So that's something. Another thing is that my front right is at only 26.6 psi, which is worrying, but hopefully after the pit stop that will be
There's a slow car up ahead.
repaired. Slow car up ahead. Yeah, it's after the Schumacher S, so it doesn't really affect us right now. Anyways, I get a bit of a run into the gravel, into the dirt, which is not the best thing to do. Martin is still stuck behind Kilford. Kilford, in my opinion, being in the wrong split anyways, because the pace he had all weekend, lovely. Anyways, what is not so lovely is what I have done just now, getting with the inner 2 wheels onto the grass and trying to accelerate on that. Not the best move. And it allowed Daly to be on my behind again. Oh, I don't like that. But so far, I have always been able to drive away from him. And, well, that will also happen here. I'm P15 because people are starting to pit. And there's a crash. Ambrose spun and I crashed into him. Light damage at the front of the car. That's a bit of an aero damage. Ay, 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 ay. Not too good. Anyways, fast forwarding a little bit. Daly is now on my behind. Again. And this time I try to do the MFD, but no. Managed to hit the wrong button and stop at a wrong camera angle. This really scares me, and it also scares Dali behind me, who sees that I'm now suddenly a lot slower through here. But everything is fixed, and only a light scare happened to me. A light scare that would have horrible consequences. Anyways, Dali on my behind right now, very much, as I am struggling to get back my concentration. And finally finding the MFD button. But the problem on Nürburgring is you don't have too much time to actually do the MFD stuff. So, go down. Go down. I don't want to repair the stuff. And I horribly hit the Schumacher S. But Dali behind me doesn't act on that, weirdly. He just lets off. I managed to untick the suspension. But the bigger damage is still ticked. And get onto the straight, get down and untick it. Yes! 13 seconds saved for the pit stop. I don't know if it would have been better to just do the pit stop with bodywork damage, because from now on my times are a bit worse than they were before. Averaging in the low 59s, I believe, from now on, which is disappointing to say the least. So, calculating that, what was it, 20 laps? No, 30 laps, something like that. Anyways, I'm going into the pits now so Daly can finally rest easy. And I don't know where the 50-kilometer board is, so I enable the pit limiter quite a bit too early and lose a lot of time going into the pits. Ay, 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 ay. Go to the pit stop. Managed to get picked up at first try and managed to exit. The only thing that I'm not really worried about at this moment is getting a drive-through or a stop and go for speeding in the pits, because I didn't, and I didn't get anything. So, lovely. Someone's just off there, and right behind me are the two race leaders, who I'm getting a bit stressed out by, just by them existing. But I managed to let them pass perfectly right here, staying on the outside and letting them the inside line for this happen. Well, them. Tweedy in this case, because Elberg, the second place driver, just pits. Alright, lovely, well done. So, blue flag of the century, no need to look any further. But I'm still right in front of Legierski, and now right in behind Daly again. Ay, ay, ay. He managed to just undercut me, which means he did the pit entry presumably almost as bad as me, but not quite as bad. Tweedy going a bit wide there in front. Interesting. But anyways, now the turns have tabled, and I am right on the back of Daly. What do I do with this newfound exciting position? I follow him for a bit, and I follow him for a more bit. But we managed to catch up to Small and Mason, two people who we are fighting for position. And now it's suddenly a train again, which is lovely. And they go a bit too wide, almost just a bit. And what are we doing now? We're moving into this left-hander, and there's another spin. We already had Ambrose spin before, and now Small did the same. Poor guy. Anyways, the new race leader is right behind me, Legierski, something like that. Anyways, he's driving the BMW and he still hasn't pit. But I'm wanting to give him the same space I did the previous race leader, which is right now. Let's see if I need to give it. Nope, he dives into the pits. Well done. And Mason just runs a bit wide here, perhaps getting pressured a bit by Daly. Let's see if we can get the move done as well. Ho 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 ho. Maybe we can. Yes, it looks fine. Going to the inside now and braking very late. Ay, 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 ay. Managing to get it turned before the gravel though. And only losing, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. Well, 4 possible, 3 actual positions. Now behind Bruce Hughes again. Eus. Boys. Something like that. He's Belgian, I believe. So you make your mind up. I'll call him Bruce. Bruce and Small. Small managed to get quite easily back on the game again after spinning out right here. And behind me now, Dean Ambrose. So, we move into this chicane, and Bruce not getting the best run out of it. I do get a better run, and I move to the inside. And now, holy mackerel, Mason got a bit of white. So, we're now 4 people fighting for a position. Bruce Hughes moves to the inside. I move to the inside as well in order to attack, but I, in the end, got a warning for this. Well, not for this, but that was an interesting move. Interesting rejoin. I got a warning for swerving across the track. Fair enough. It was quite an unfair move towards Bruce. It was a fair move, however, towards attacking. However, the attack didn't work quite. Well, it did, because he went wide. I pressured him, but we're here a lap later now, and Dean Ambrose is on my behind. I take the middle of the road, so he can't do anything. Middle of the road is the perfect place to be for everything. Not joking. Well, except for maybe hitting apexes, running into corners, running out of corners, all of that stuff. And now we get to back markers. Oh, we are finally finding the back markers of the rookies. And they're holding up everyone. Well, everyone meaning Bruce and me. And Dean Ambrose just touches me, saying, "Hello. I didn't know you would need to brake here." And I tried to go on the inside line, but Rat unfortunately foils my plans. So now he moves off the racing line and lets off the throttle a bit. Finally, we're 3 wides. Unfortunately, Ambrose got a better run than me, so he manages to move to the inside right in front. So, ay. But they go a bit wide, both of them together. I managed to get a good run out of that. And Bruce is on the inside of me. He manages to hit me and then spin himself. Rip Bruce. That was the story of Brucey. Anyways, that was the last thing that pretty much happened during the race. The only thing that happened here is Small going wide and getting me a position, which ended up netting me position 14 in class. So, that was it. Thank you for watching today. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing to the video. Also comment any feedback that you have. And thank you for watching. and see you on the racetrack.